So let us discuss about the way forward. The first in this context is make SDG 13A as default rule in all development. Every major project should ask these questions. What climate risk affected? Will it increase risk for others? Is it resilient for future climate? Climate screening for roads, bridges, housing, irrigations, schools and hospitals, coastal and infrastructure. Update building codes, drainage codes, land use rules so that they can use it when they are preparing data related to disaster risk reduction. The second way forward is to invest in disaster risk and integrate it with reduction and adaptation together. Alignment with climate adaptation plans and DRR strategies. How is it possible? Students, use Sendai priority as operational guidance in this regard. Risk understanding, governance, investment preparedness that can integrate, build back better the strategy. There is a need of avoidance of duplicate reporting system. UN DRR reports suggest aligning tracking to reduce duplication. The third way forward is scale multi-hazard early warning system with last mile delivery. Early warning coverage must reach remote village, informal settlement, coastal fishing, different communities, elderly people, disabled people who are considered as vulnerable. So, warning should be for those who are directly going to be affected with that, and it should be in local language, it should be in simple actions, it should be on correct time. The clear time and location of that region should be specified by the concerned regulatory authorities. Community volunteers and local institutions must be part of the chain. The global push for EW4 all is exactly this pathway which I am discussing with you. The fourth is build local capacity as a strong tool. Capacity building is slow but essential. Training of local officials in risk mapping, in climate budgeting and adaptation project designing, training of teachers, training of school going children for climate educations. These are very important steps in this connection. Strengthening extension system for farmers and use of local language is also very essential. The fifth way forward is focus on adaptation finance that actually works. How can it be possible? We can simplify access to funds. There is a need to increase grants for high vulnerability areas. There is a need to build capacity for project preparation. There is a need to invest in no regrets measures. Apart from that, early warning system, climate resilient water supply, heat action planning, flood plain protection, drought proof agriculture support. These are some of the tools, some of the methods which can be used as per the goal 13 of SDG. Students, UNEP keeps repeating adaptation finance gap is huge and closing it is urgent. The sixth way forward is nature-based solution as a resilient tool. As we know that not everything is cement and concrete. Restore wetlands, that's the natural way of protection. Protect mangroves, storm surge buffering is an example. Protect urban green cover so that it can reduce the heat. Protect watersheds that can act as a drought buffering. So, these natural methods of reducing disaster with technology integration will actually give us a way forward. This also helps multiple SDGs at once, like we are integrating water, health and biodiversity together to combat the problem. Seventh is put equity at the center. This is very important. Target vulnerable communities first. Protection of climate migrants and informal workers. There is a requirement to ensure shelters for these migrant workers during the time of DRR. There is a requirement to access them with basic resources such as water. Gender sensitiveness in disaster planning is also very important because they are the vulnerable section. Because if the poorest remain exposed, SDG achievement is not real achievement. So, we have to target the focused group which are vulnerable in nature. The eighth way forward is track progress. Improve disaster loss and damage accounting. Measurement of who is being benefited from adaptation, not only that any project is being completed. Then strengthen national reporting for SDGs indicators. Use of learning loops. After each disaster, there is a requirement of updating the plans. Also, the SDG report 2025 notes early warning system as a key climate action areas and highlights examples of progress which shows where practical pathways are being observed. So, this was all about the SDG goal of 13. At the end of this chapter, I would like to summarize that SDG goal 13, which is related to climate action, is a central goal because climate change threatens development outcomes across sectors. Goal 13 is not only about emissions, it includes strengthening resilience to climate hazards, building adaptive capacity, integrating climate measures into policies and plannings, improving education and awareness, and mobilizing finance and support for vulnerable countries and communities. The way forward is to mainstream climate actions into development as a default rule, invest in disaster risk reduction and adaptation together, scale multi-hazards early warning systems with last mile reach, strengthen education and capacity building, improve adaptation finance access, use nature-based solutions and ensure equity focused adaptation so that most vulnerable are protected first. So, with this I am closing this chapter, and at the end I would like to suggest couple of questions to you. The first question is, why is Sustainable Development Goal 13 considered different from just environmental protection? The second question can be, how does Target 13.2 improve disaster resilience? And at the end I would also like to suggest a question such as, explain the link between SDG 13 and the Sendai framework.